Hi guys, my name is OP. I'm a prop trader from Hashedge, and I'm here to give you the daily market analysis of the Bitcoin charts and the whole cryptocurrency charts as a whole. As we do every day, we show up every day, we give you this analysis. So we are in tune and we are here to make a trade and to make money. That's why we are here to make money. Just jump straight into the chart. We look at the Bitcoin USD perpetual right now, and we can see we have topped at 88,400, which was the level that we have been indicating for the past 1 week and beyond that. And we can see like we have confirmed above the 50 MA and the 200 EMA trending charts lines, and now we are confirming 88,500. This is the level that, so once we break this resistance and we can confirm it in another daily close by tomorrow, that will give me confirmation. So I'm looking by tomorrow, which is Wednesday, so by the end of this week we should be able to close the weekly candle above 88,500. That will give me a bullish confirmation that we are going upward. That will give me much more momentum and much more appetite and much more confidence in the trade I'm going to take to long the market following that once I get the confirmation. So that's the way to look at it. We look at the RSI is also pointing towards upwards. Of course, we have to be careful. Once we start to get around the 69 levels for the RSI, that will be time to ladder out and to take profit, at least to take profit off the table once we enter the trade after the confirmation, from the 88,500. So everything looking good as for now on Bitcoin, showing a bullish momentum. Everybody is already happy on the streets everywhere. On crypto Twitter you can see, and of course that is reflecting in the crypto fear and greed index, which we are now showing that we are neutral. It's quite interesting. From fear of yesterday 39, and now we have jumped up to neutral level, and it's showing that. So everyone is bullish at the moment. Otto Hayes, a respected Bitcoin OG in the space, is talking that if we don't buy right now below $100,000 Bitcoin, we have missed it, and we have missed a generational wealth for entry for anyone. So this is also advice for everyone. Take it or leave it. But us as traders, what is our advice here? That means there's so much money to be made trading from now to whatever we top out or whatever exits, whatever level that we are going to be anticipating that we can take profit off the table before a further dip and before another dip that will wipe out everybody and make everybody again bearish, because it's cycles, right? Everything will just move up and down, long and short. There's money to be made. We look at crypto quants saying Bitcoin realized cap has reached record high, and is showing the increased confidence in both the network assets and suggesting that we may not have reached the top of the market. So this is just showing us that there's still a lot of bullish sentiment and a lot of fuel in the tank, if you can put it that way, for Bitcoin to still go further up. We go ahead with Solana and look at Solana USD. Solana 2 is now kind of yesterday we were higher than this, around 140, but now we are at 139, so we are beginning to move sideways, but at least we are still above the 50 MA moving averages, so that is one good sign. But we have not yet been able to catch up to the 200 EMA. Also look at the RSI, we seem to be pointing upwards, so this looks like we are just moving sideways, but there's a lot of bullish sentiment. There's a lot of fundamental news out there for Solana. Solana has been picking up a lot of steam, a lot of users, a lot of network things are happening to it that is showing a bullish momentum for Solana. Solana, you can see from the Solana team saying how they have raised 100 million to begin accumulating just Solana, and is citing it as a high leading performance blockchain. So this is very, very bullish for Solana, and we can see which this news actually dropped yesterday night and this morning, and Galaxy Digital has been swapping $100 million worth of Ethereum for Solana. So this is observed on chain, and is saying that, and this is a very, very bullish sentiment. If Galaxy Digital, one of the big guys in the space and one of the early movers in the whole cryptocurrency space as a whole, is doing this and positioning themselves to capture more of the movement of Solana, that is a lot of bullish news for Solana, and showing that Solana has so much more in. And yesterday, if you remember, the analysis I gave yesterday, it is obvious that some people are speculating for Solana to get to 2,000 at the top of the cycle. So that is incredibly bullish for Solana. So let's just continue to watch on Solana. Not only Solana as a layer one, but you look at Solana and all its derivatives and all the meme coins, altcoins on Solana chain. That would be very, very bullish, because once Solana moves up, all other things within the Solana ecosystem will also pull them along. So that is something to watch out, and there's a lot of trades to be made. So for us as traders, we can start to position ourselves in a lot of tokens, coins that are based on the Solana chain and ready to rise up. Of course, good narratives like AI, RWA, things of that nature. Meme coins, of course, because I love meme coins. They move very fast. So these are all the things we'll be positioning ourselves in the near future, capturing the trend upwards and the skyrocket exponential move that is going to be going towards the upside. We look at XRP now, and XRP is just also moving sideways, boring, choppy at this moment. Nothing to write home about, really. But there's a lot of fundamental news going on for XRP at the moment. So I believe this is just on purpose trying to bore us out, bore the hell out of all of us in anticipation for a violent move towards the upside. We see the RSI too is just moving sideways, and that's just pretty much what is going on for XRP. But we know there's a lot of bullish momentum, bullish narratives going on for Solana, for XRP rather, and that is it for XRP. Now we just quickly move to a market view of the overall market, and we just give a see in the overall market, because Bitcoin is very, very obvious that because Bitcoin is actually moving on, it is sucking liquidity. It makes sense that it's sucking liquidity out of a lot of altcoins, and you can see the ones that just jump straight to us is Fatcoin is doing well. Casper is also doing well, but Fatcoin, another meme coin on Solana, is doing very, very well. In fact, then you can now look at it. It's a very obvious Pulse X, and X is somewhere there. Yes, X is also doing well, and that is because of the news that SEC has dropped the case against Richard Hart, who is the founder of Pulse X and her X token. So that is also obviously bullish news, and everybody's happy. So of course that reflects in the price. But you look at the overall market, is a red day for the altcoins. However, for Bitcoin is moving bullish. So because liquidity has been sucked from one place to the other, so that makes sense why there's a bearish market in the altcoin space across the board right now. Then we look at Eric Balchunas, a respected macro analyst, is also saying there are 72 crypto-related ETFs sitting with the SEC waiting for approval. So this is also showing there's a lot of bullish sentiment out there on crypto, saying it. Talking and that is now complementing that Bitcoin ETFs are dominating crypto fund assets and is accounting for nearly 90% of global crypto fund assets. So Bitcoin is maintaining like a 80 to 85% share of the crypto fund market, and of course all of this is bullish for not only Bitcoin but for the overall cryptocurrency market. So we juxtapose cryptocurrency market to the stock market, and what happened yesterday, there was 1.5 trillion wiped out from the US stock market yesterday, and in contrast to that, 60 billion was added to the crypto market. So you can see that with this chart, with this visual aid done by Watcher Guru. Don't mind this guy over here, but like this is what he's saying. Everything is green. I guess we all look like that, green, looking bullish and everything. So just moving on to other fundamental news in the macro and in this space that kind of affects cryptocurrency markets as a whole. You can see that El Salvador is setting to do AI to complement their AI with a national lab launch with NVIDIA deal, and this is also bullish for the AI space because NVIDIA is one of the biggest chip makers of chip makers that are used in computers and supercomputers and AI products. So that is really, really bullish for that. We'll just move on to Ethereum. That's Plan B, one of the biggest OG Bitcoiners in the space, and he also did the stock to flow model. He's the author of the stock to flow model. So anything he says within this space is quite respected and is listened to. And he's just shitting on Ethereum, saying it's not really looking good, and what is going on because of the centralized nation of Ethereum is proof of stake instead of proof of work, which he changed at when he started getting going. So all of this is just talking about it and just shitting on it while it's down at this moment. But I wouldn't discount that the fact that Ethereum is just down at this moment for now, because there's a lot of institutions backing and using Ethereum. Ethereum has the most of developers, although we are seeing that shift to Solana, but you see all of that going on for it, and that is it. So we just end the video with this video with Fundra's co-founder Tom Lee, and he's just talking about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is catching up to gold. Let's just take a listen to what he has to say.
Bitcoin up almost 3.5% as well. For more on this, I'm already talking to you and I haven't introduced you. Let's bring in Tom Lee, Head of Research at Fundstrat, Chief Investment Officer at Fundstrat Capital, as well as a CNBC contributor. And I don't remember whether it was you or Pump when we were talking about Bitcoin sort of stuck under 85,000 with gold going up every day. And it was either you or Pump that said Bitcoin usually follows a couple of months later, but has a much bigger move.
That was probably Pump.
Pump, yeah, he's pretty bullish.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything similar to that? I mean, that's a pretty big move. And in the past, gold's been leaving in the past near term, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. This year, maybe. We have seen gold leave Bitcoin in the dust and go to new highs. Looks like it'll do 4,000 easily, right? Do you think Bitcoin eventually catches some of the same money, the same bid?
Yeah, I think Bitcoin earlier this year may have been struggling with some of the deleveraging that was happening for institutional investors.
Just selling what they could.
Yeah, selling what they could, and I think that suppressed Bitcoin, especially over weekends. But now that deleveraging is done, I think that Bitcoin is going to catch up to gold, and Bitcoin's old high was over 110,000. So I think there is a lot of room to catch up as a sort of non-dollar asset.
As for the equity markets, you think stocks are attractive, but uncertainty is still the name of the game, and it's going to persist. You think the high in the VIX, what did you say that was on April 7th, that holds?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to match that level of fear again. So I think we're probably past peak uncertainty. I mean, even with this Fed controversy, but I don't know if we're past maximum pain. I think that there's still risks that the economic consequences are going to cause markets to be hesitant, but it's going to be hard to match that fear again. So I think a structural low did take place.
Yes, and pretty much the gist of what he's saying is that Bitcoin is going to catch up to gold, and that Bitcoin is still going to catch up to gold, and is going to surpass it, and because gold has already done a very incredible run we have seen over the past months, and is actually sitting at all-time high. So we are just looking for Bitcoin to catch up and to cement itself as a risk-off asset. So this is what is actually playing out. But for us, we are not just bullish and listening to all these fundamental news. Yes, they are good. They are good just to know what everyone is thinking out there, what everybody is saying, what the conversations are saying. But for us as traders, we still have to remain level-headed and make sure the market is still uncertain, because we don't know what Trump will say, because we are still driven on the market is driven by news, and China right now we see is doubling down on all their own stance in respect to vis-a-vis America, and we see higher interest rates that it looks like it's coming up. Of course, we are doing a higher high right now. We are showing a higher high on the Bitcoin chart, but that doesn't make us also cognizant and aware of the macro situation and the macro analysis of what is going on and the macro environment that we are playing in. So this also gives us more insight into what to position, how to deal with our risk levels, and because at the end of the day, as traders, we are risk managers in that sense. So we are managing our risk. Whenever we enter a trade, we are trying to look at, okay, what is our risk levels? How is my risk compared to this trade I'm taking? What are my risk ratios? And that is what is making us take a good trade and a bad trade, either even long or short. Also, it also determines that. So to be a good trader, all of these factors have to be in place, and makes us make money in this space, because at the end of the day, we want to trade to make money and to capitalize on it and to be wealthy. I believe that's the goal for everyone. That's why I'm here giving you videos like this, and for you to be on top of the market, make money. That's why we're here. Zero to Ferrari. Goodbye.